Imagine walking into a hotel you built, only to be told you don't belong there. That's what happened to Danielle, a CEO who didn't wear power suits or heels that day, just sneakers, a hoodie, and tired eyes. What should have been a normal check-in turned into a lesson that left an entire staff and 2 managers shaking. She wanted authenticity, not fanfare. As she entered the grand lobby, pride filled her. Until she approached the front desk. The clerk barely looked up, eyeing Danielle's casual clothes with suspicion. "Can I help you?" she asked, her tone cold. Danielle gave her reservation name, but the clerk insisted there was no record and claimed the hotel was fully booked. Danielle, the owner, was being turned away from her own hotel. The luxury she'd built was suddenly just a facade. The staff saw only her clothes, not the person. And in that moment, everything Danielle believed about her company was put to the test. Danielle could have revealed her identity, but she chose to ask, "Is there a problem with my reservation, or with me?" The supervisor joined, his voice dripping with condescension. "This is a 5-star establishment. We have standards." Danielle listened, heart heavy, not for herself but for every guest who might be judged the same way. Her company's philosophy was simple. Everyone deserves respect. Yet here, her staff had become gatekeepers, not hosts. Danielle pressed gently, "Isn't kindness the highest standard?" The supervisor scoffed, "We maintain an elite experience. You just don't fit the profile." Danielle realized this wasn't a misunderstanding, it was a culture problem. The staff had forgotten the soul of hospitality. They saw only appearances, not people. Danielle knew change was needed. This moment was bigger than her. It was about the heart of her company. Danielle calmly took out her phone. "I'm just making a quick call," she said, putting it on speaker. The staff watched, confused, as she spoke to Sarah, the assistant to David Harrison, Monroe Grand's COO. "David, I'm at the Azure Palace. The staff believe I'm not a suitable guest for my own hotel." Silence fell. The staff's faces drained of color as realization dawned. Danielle wasn't just any guest, she was the CEO. David's voice was urgent. "I'm so sorry. The regional director will be there immediately." The call ended, but the lesson had already begun. Danielle didn't gloat or raise her voice. She simply waited, letting the weight of their mistake settle. The staff had failed, not just a guest, but the very person who defined their mission. Their arrogance had been exposed. Danielle's quiet presence spoke louder than any reprimand. The true test of hospitality had arrived, and everyone in the lobby felt it. Minutes later, Mark Chen, the regional director, rushed in, apologizing profusely. Danielle stopped him. "This isn't about me as CEO, it's about what happens when I'm not the CEO." She turned to the staff. "The respect you show me now should be given to every guest. Your job isn't to judge worth, it's to offer kindness." Her words were simple but powerful. The staff finally understood. Luxury isn't about appearances but about making people feel seen and valued. Danielle's disappointment wasn't anger, it was a call to remember the true purpose of hospitality. The regional director listened, silent. The staff's eyes filled with understanding. They had been so focused on image, they'd forgotten humanity. Danielle's message was clear. Service is about dignity, for everyone. The lesson was learned not through punishment but through truth. And the heart of the company began to shift. Danielle's experience became a turning point for Monroe Grand Hotels. She didn't fire the staff. Instead, she launched the Dignity Standard, a new company-wide initiative. Training shifted from procedures to empathy. Hospitality begins with seeing the person, not their appearance. In a live address, Danielle shared her story, not to shame, but to inspire. "Luxury isn't a price tag," she said. "It's the feeling of being welcomed with an open heart." The company's culture transformed. Stories of kindness replaced stories of exclusion. The Azure Palace became the model for this new philosophy. The staff who once judged became champions of dignity. Danielle's quiet stand did more than any marketing campaign ever could. She proved true power is in presence and respect. The ultimate luxury is dignity, for everyone, always.